Hey everybody, it's Fernando with another quick video here. I just wanted to show you Lucky's new habitat. I had decided that the 2.5 gallon terrarium that I made for him was a little bit too big for him. And there were too many holes in the lid for him to crawl out of. The humidity was a little bit more difficult to maintain. So I decided to go with a smaller designed habitat for him. So the container that I used, I actually got at Walmart. It's a 1 gallon Mainstays canister, and I paid like $3 for it. I washed the container out with soap and water, and then I made holes down here on the sides and on the back, as well as on the top, the sides up here at the top. I used a soldering iron to melt those holes. It was a lot easier than drilling or heating up a nail. I paid like $10 for this soldering iron at Walmart, and it did great. I just zoomed along making the holes. The holes are pretty consistent in size, and that makes me very happy. The wood inside the container is driftwood that I found on Dauphin Island Beach. I sanded down the driftwood to the design and the shape that I wanted it and the size. And then I boiled it for 30 minutes. I would have done it longer, but I had to leave. We had to go eat dinner, so I had to turn it off. But when we came back from dinner, I put it in the oven and baked it in the oven at 325 degrees for an hour. Once I finished disinfecting it, I hot glued these silk leaves onto it, into the holes that were in there, just so that Lucky would have some leaves that he could use to spin his web on. It was a bunch that I got at Walmart for 97 cents. The background here is styrofoam that I cut out to fit on the inside. The front of it I covered with Mod Podge glue, and then I threw the substrate on it and let it stick and let it dry overnight. And then once it dried, I put it in the enclosure, and it fit perfect. I've also glued a little water bowl here. It's just a top to a bottled water, and I used hot glue to attach it to the wall, so that way when Lucky gets thirsty, he can just crawl over here and drink some. He doesn't have to go all the way down to the bottom. At the bottom, I put a couple of inches of the coconut substrate just below the holes so that it wouldn't stay too moist and there would be enough airflow going through the container. Finally, the last thing I did was I put in a little Yoda there to keep Lucky company. Once I was done putting it all together, I then transferred Lucky from his old 2.5 gallon enclosure to this 1 gallon enclosure. Alright, so here's the fun part of the video. We're going to see if we can't get Lucky to eat. Have a dubia roach here for him. I don't have any tweezers yet. Some long tweezers, I've ordered some. They haven't gotten here yet, so I'm using these 2 little sticks as like chopsticks. And let's see if we can entice Lucky to eat. Well, it seems Lucky's not very hungry, so I'm just going to leave him alone for a while, about a day or so, and then try it again. A couple of the roaches actually dropped to the bottom of his container, so maybe they'll pop up and he'll just eat at his leisure. Alright everybody, well that's all I have. I want to thank you all for watching, and I hope everyone has a great evening. Take care.